Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Shelley. I'm your host again for Illinois Gender Advocates CAN-TV show, brought to you by Illinois Gender Advocates and CAN-TV and Channel 21. With me tonight is our esteemed guest, Casey Schwartz, also from IGA and Tyra Youth Organization. Tonight, we're talking to Casey about Tyra, the youth organization, and the services they provide our community. I also like to remind everybody now, before we do this, that this is a live call-in show, as it always is, and you can call the number on the screen there. It seems like it's smaller every time, 312-738-1060, okay? You can call us and ask questions about our topic tonight. Before, and we always have to do the IGA information tonight. You can reach us at IGA. Was it IGAadvocates.org, I believe it is? Okay. I'll give you some information on that a little bit later, but I want to delve right into the subject tonight. As I said, Casey, thanks for coming tonight.
Thanks for having me.
If you're a transgendered youth out there, we'd like to hear it from you, because Casey is one of the facilitators at Tyra Youth Organization, and like to know what your life is like as a youth, a transgender youth. I know some of you have called in before about this, and I've talked to you before about your problems and concerns. So again, Casey, thank you for coming tonight. So now that we're here, now I've got you here, tell us a little bit about Tyra. Okay, first, what did the initials Tyra stand for? Okay, in case someone doesn't know.
Great. Tyra stands for Trans Youth Resource and Advocacy.
Okay.
We started. I'll tell you a little bit of our history.
Mm-hmm.
We began, I believe, about 4 years ago, and it's a collaboration between Illinois Gender Advocates, so you all, and Howard Brown Health Center, which is actually the healthcare agency that I work for. Tyra is located at the Broadway Youth Center, which is kind of like I call it almost like the child or the of Howard Brown. So we're sort of child maybe sounds a little funny, but
well, no, that's
we're the youth center. So the Broadway Youth Center has been around for about 2 years now, providing services for LGBTQ. So that would be questioning, so lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, questioning, queer, allies of the GLBT community, services such as like testing, HIV and STD testing. We've got a drop-in services during the day, so we basically provide like a meal, shower services for folks if people want to come in and take a shower, case management. We've got a doctor who's there 4 days a week, which is wonderful. So people can kind of get, like if somebody comes in who has maybe like a cold or an STD, and they can see a doctor for free. But Tyra, so back to Tyra. So we're located at the Broadway Youth Center.
Broadway Youth Center, yeah.
We're a program for transgender and gender questioning young people 24 and under. We meet once a week. We also go on field trips. There's plenty of activities. So we don't just meet once a week. Every couple months, we have some sort of outing somewhere. About 8 to 20 youth attend every week, which is wonderful. Cool. And they're all trans identified or questioning their gender in some way or another.
All right.
And we provide resources for them, like helping folks change their name legally, helping young people access hormones and health care, and other transition-related services.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
That's a wide range of services that you provide.
We do. And we link people up with our mentor program. Howard Brown and the Broadway Youth Center has the first mentor program in the United States specifically for LGBT youth. So we can hook people up with a mentor, with an adult mentor, which is wonderful. And one thing that's really unique about our program is that it's run and organized all by transgender people. So myself included, I identify as an F to M transgender person. I was born female, I identify as male. It's something I always have to say because people don't get it or don't believe me.
They don't get it, they don't believe it. Yeah, that's that part of because you come across great as a male. They probably don't. They don't believe you. That's what it is.
No, people don't believe me. That's fine. And I work with a few other trans people that also help facilitate Tyra. So it's not just me every week, which is wonderful.
Well, let me ask you. How many youths do you usually get, say, during the week to come, drop in?
Yeah, like I said, between 8 and 20. I'll get youth coming in during the week for other sorts of services that identify as trans. Trans Youth Access, our other programs such as Q, which is a program on Monday nights for queer youth, queer college-aged youth. Pretty much every night of the week we've got a trans person coming in, but at Tyra our numbers kind of range between 10 and 20.
Okay, now when they have people come in, is it Is it usually because they're in need of something, or they're just, they have like a crisis in their life, in other words, or is this they're coming just for support? I mean, what I'm getting, I guess what I'm kind of alluding to, do you have people who come in that, are really troubled with their identity, where they say, I really need some help in, like, deciding who I am, things like that?
I think it's all over the board.
Okay,
yes.
all
I mean,
right.
a lot of people take that first step in there either because they're coming with
Okay.
a friend, or they're coming because they got a referral from a medical provider or a therapist, saying, "Why don't you go find a community, get some support?"
Okay.
And I think community building is one of the best prevention
true.
tools
That's true.
in preventing
That's
preventing any sort of harm that a young person might be facing.
Okay. Let me ask you, then is there a typical, other than the identity crisis themselves that youth have, but is there something that is like a commonality between, people who are transgendered youth? Are they, I guess the word would be, I hate to use the word searching, but are they confused because of maybe things people say to them, that aren't exactly complimentary, or maybe from family members that are saying, well, why are you like this kind of thing?
A great deal of our youth experience harassment by the general population, maybe from police, and a lot of our young people face issues of coming out to family, coming out to friends,
Okay.
coming out to partners. There's many issues that trans youth face. Let's see, access to healthcare, like I said, and that's something that we do really well, is linking people into healthcare. Access to support, access to even basic needs like food or shelter. There's a great deal of homeless trans youth that are homeless or marginally housed trans youth out there.
That's something I'd like to mention about. It doesn't seem like a lot of people understand that, but how would you say that? Well, I hate to ask, but if someone's transgender youth, how do they survive? Do they have to turn to things like prostitution and that to keep themselves alive? I mean, is that?
I mean, it depends. It depends on people's situation. There is a statistic out there that's very interesting, that after about 48 hours, when a lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender youth becomes homeless, say they're kicked out of their home or they leave their home, so within about 48 hours, 42% of them will result to some sort of sex trade for survival. It's a pretty intense statistic if you think about it. That's almost 50% of our queer youth, and I'm saying queer is kind of an umbrella term for gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender.
But that's a dangerous lifestyle for someone to be on the street like that. I mean, as we all know, this day and age, like serial killers, things like that. I mean, and it seems to me that the trans youth would be even more vulnerable than, say, it's just a genetic woman who's a prostitute, because they're more in need emotionally, maybe physically too, and maybe for hormones, things like that. So I mean, I hate to see anything like that, happen. I mean, do we have any provision here in Chicago for any transgender youth that are, other than Tyra? I mean, but does the city provide anything, any kind of help or anything at all?
The city has a lot of different programs, and the city also helps fund and support our programs as well, which is really wonderful. I mean, there's plenty of shelters out there for people. There's plenty of other services all around the city. And to support people that are in the sex trade, and to support transgender youth.
Okay, well, that's good to know. I'm glad to hear something like that. Yes, we have a call coming in. Yes.
How can I be more involved in the IGA?
How can you be more involved in IGA? Let me find the phone number here for IGA, and we can dig it out. Would you like to do some volunteer work?
Yes, I would like to do whatever I can, because I am, top support. Well, actually, I did my little transitioning. I haven't, not to the fullest, but you understand what I'm saying.
Okay, I think I know. Well, you can call Illinois Gender Advocates at 312-409-5489. That's 312-409-5489. And you can talk to somebody there, or leave a message. And then you can, if you want to come to meetings or something, that would be great, or do volunteer work. For Illinois Gender Advocates.
Sorry, what was the number again?
Okay, I'll get 312-409-5489. 5489. And you can also look up, I don't know if you have a computer, look up genderadvocates.org. Okay? And I'm sure somebody will get back to you.